Hello everyone. Today in this video we're going to talk about a new feature inside of StoragePoint called the FileShare Librarian. Now the FileShare Librarian is going to help you catalog all those file shares you have out there and get that information quickly and easily into SharePoint so that you can take advantage of all that SharePoint has to offer. So let's take a look at the file share today that I'm going to be cataloging. And this is a file share that is actually just a whole bunch of screenshots. You can see I have the screens and then captures with all of my different screenshots. These could be logos or pictures, etc. So that's what we're cataloging today. And we're going to be taking advantage of a new document library type in SharePoint 2010 called the Assett library. So we can take all these screenshots or logos, etc., and push them into an asset library. So let's get started and create a new library configuration. We're going to call this one Screenshots. And point it at the initial directory that we're going to be using. Now I'm giving this a hard path, but you can also use this in UNC paths, etc. So we'll validate that it can be seen, and you can see there's my screens with the captures subdirectory. Now I don't need to exclude any files. If I had some files in there that were exes or videos, etc., I can say, hey, don't pull these in, or if I just want to get some new ones or leave out the old ones, etc. So now that I've told the librarian where I want to get these files from, I need to tell it where it's going to be pushing those files to. So I'm going to put that in my media database in the media site collection, media site. Now based on what target I select and at what level that's at, it will change its behavior. In this case, you can see that it's going to create a list in the destination container for each subdirectory it sees. Now in our case, we only have one subdirectory called captures, but it would create a new list for each one of those subdirectories. If I had selected higher in the chain, it might create sites or site collections, etc. Now when it does this whole create new list or library, I need to tell it what type to create. And as I said previously, we want to test out the Assett library functionality. This is actually going to be a timer job that runs and performs this work, so I need to tell it what server to use and how many threads to take advantage of it. We don't want to simulate or test this, but that's one of the options we can do so we can tell what's going to happen and plan for that accordingly. Once I click Catalog File Share Now, it will go and save my configuration, create this profile for Librarian, and then schedule that job. And once this is done setting that up, we can go over to our job status page and actually take a look at it. There, it's being scheduled. You can see it'll run at 12:45. We'll go ahead and save this, close, and go back to our job status page. And we can see the librarian is running. It's at 0% complete, but we can keep refreshing as it progresses through the job and take a look at what's actually going on. You can see it's 3%. We'll pretend like one of those morning shows where they show you how to bake and then it magically pops out of the oven. So it's at 19% now. We'll fast forward to 100%. There we go, it's at 100. So now we'll flip over to our media site and take a look at what it created. We'll go ahead and view all site content. There's the captures library. You can see it put in 346 items. We'll browse that. Now you can see all the files that it pulled in, as well as the thumbnails, so I can take a look at my logos, etc. So now that you know they're there, how long did that take? If we look at the job status, you can see that it took about 2 minutes to do 346 blobs. Now if you calculate that out in your environment, you can see how fast you could actually get stuff in. So this is so fast because it's not actually pulling those blobs into the database. Moreover, it's actually using the StoragePoint technology, using EBS or RBS to actually keep those files where they're at and just put the metadata into SharePoint along with the endpoint that is created during that library specification. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. Let us know if you should have any questions.